First of all, I want to welcome all of you from Hollidaysburg, Bishop Guilfoyle, Altoona. I welcome all of you. It's really an honor to have you all here today. Next year, the goal is to have this in the Downtown Divorce Theater, which holds 340, and we will include all the area school districts next year, like all 13, I think, State College and everybody. So this year, I had to put this together quick. Tammy Fleck and I, Tammy is our coordinator at the office of the Griffith Family Foundation, and so it was easy to coordinate this with our 3 local high schools. So I want to welcome you all today. For any of you that are new to Sideline Cancer, the 2 videos just showed you what we're about. In the center is pictures of all the schools and universities that have participated. This is year number 3. This was started by Jack Andraka when he was here in 2013. He is the 2012 Intel Science and Engineering Fair winner for his invention of an early detection test for pancreatic cancer. He was on the Today Show this morning in regards to science, technology, engineering, and math. And he was on the Today Show yesterday, and he's been on 60 Minutes, and I think everyone has heard of Jack Andraka. He's been to our events 3 times here in Altoona, and more than likely he will come to our event, our dinner this summer that we have in honor of my husband Greg, who died of pancreatic cancer. So I bet Jack, he always calls me the night before and says, I'll be there. So this whole idea started out as Tackle Cancer, and the kids, Lindsay Parnell, Allie Stubbs, a lot of the kids at Hollidaysburg started this 3 years ago. And Jack, when he was here, he said, Mrs. Griffith, tackle cancer is limiting. And I said, excuse me, Jack, what do you mean limiting? It's to football. Oh, why don't you come up with a name that could be used for science club, orchestra, band, football, basketball? So it was a collaborative effort on quite a few people. It just was collaborative, and collaborative with the I Can and the shirt design. And I really give everybody the autonomy, school to school, to create and design with their own colors. You know, the Altoona girls got the hoodies this year, you got the hats, so we can make them color coordinated for your school. So what I want to do now is we're going to start the program. You were given folders, and in those folders is information about Dominic Cozzolino, but he'll come up and speak shortly. Dominic is our Sideline Cancer Initiative Coordinator. We're going to have a group walk, and I mean big group walk, in Altoona, Hollidaysburg, and BG, and any other school that wants to participate at Tiger Stadium on June 13th. It's in your paper. What I would love you to do is to go back to your school and to get kids to participate in the walk. It's $5 for students and $10 for adults. Then we have the Griff's Run and Gun basketball tournament at the Hollidaysburg YMCA. It is on Saturday morning at the Y at 10 a.m. on July 25th. You can get a 3-on-3 team. And then if any of you guys are golfers, we have a golf tournament, Sideline Cancer Golf Tournament at Scotch Valley on Monday, August the 10th. That information is in your booklet, so you can take a look. And what I would love for you guys to do is to participate. You know, what Jack's whole thing was, yeah, you adults talk to us, but you never let us do anything. I just gave you stuff in your folder that if you feel called here today to participate, please do. I am honored to have with us Kiera Sheardon of the Brian Morden Foundation and the Griffith Family Foundation. She is a student at the Altoona Junior High School. And so Kiera is going to give us a talk. And I also am lucky to have here today Dawn Morden of the Brian Morden Foundation. And so what I really want you guys to learn today is collaboration. How are we going to change the world? And it's just simple. we all have to play in the sandbox nicely together. And a lot of us adults don't. And I don't like that. So the way we can change it is let's work together. Let's promote each other's causes. Whether, it's childhood cancer, whether it's pancreatic. I had the awesome opportunity of meeting with Dr. Otis Brawley in Atlanta about this Sideline Cancer campaign. As many of you know, I dream big, I pray big, big things I like to see happen. And so when I met with Dr. Brawley, the American Cancer Society, the dream would be to have this all, housed under the American Cancer Society. They do a remarkable job there, but they're not ready to take something like this on. The dream would be that one day, Sideline Cancer could encompass all cancer. If I had my way, it would be that way. But the way the world works and the way my 501c3 nonprofit was set up, I have to do this for pancreatic cancer. But my dream is that one day you guys will see that all money can be put into one place at NIH, at the National Institutes of Health, and I've been there also in Washington, D.C., and that the dream would be that we can work at this as a team, and it is going to take teamwork, and it's going to take leadership, it's going to take meeting with our legislators, but it can get done, and I see that it is getting done. My husband had that dream, and now, 5 years into his journey, I'm seeing it coming to a fruition, so it can happen. So I'm not going to talk much longer. I'd like Kiera to come over, and let's welcome Kiera Sheridan of Altoona High School.
Hi, I'm Kiera Sheridan. I'm 14 years I'm an 8th grade student at Altoona Junior High School. I was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called epithelioid sarcoma. I want to say that cancer treatment has progressed greatly through the years, and seeing someone like Jack and Draka shows that more young minds like us are needed and are going to be needed to speed up research process. Sideline Cancer and the Brian Morden Foundation is a great way to get involved to raise money for research. Thank you for coming today. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiera. Thank you, dear. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kiera. And now I'd like to welcome Dawn Morden of the Brian Morden Foundation. There you go, dear.
He's my mascot.
Yes. You want me to hold him?
Sure.
I'll hold him.
Okay.
And you can hold that.
I have to hold this.
Okay, and you got that.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Okay, can I stand here?
Yes, you
feel
can.
a little better. Hi, everybody. I want to thank Kathy, first of all, and the Griffith Family Foundation because, like she said, it is a collaborative effort. Our cause is childhood cancer because when my son, Brian, was about your age, he was diagnosed with Ewing's sarcoma, another kind of sarcoma like Kiera. And he started chemotherapy on his 17th birthday in Pittsburgh. He fought for 2 years very courageously, like all of these kids with cancer do. They are my superheroes, and you guys can be heroes too in your helping us to fight back against cancer. And I have to mention also, John's going to be talking up here. John was one of my students from, I think, 2nd grade on, and he also fought back against cancer when he was an elementary student. Because I came back after my son Brian died, and we had an educational fair, and those students did all kinds of things to help raise money and awareness. So I just want to talk briefly about 2 events that are, well, actually just one event because you guys are too old for the young event, the bicycle event. You could come help, but we are having an event at Legion Park, which is closer to Hollidaysburg students than Altoona, but it was actually an event that was started by an Altoona student the year after my son died. He was a cyclist, and he was a member of the Blair Bicycle Club, and it was called Ride, Run, and Fun. No, it wasn't called Fun then. We just pretty much had cyclists ride. And it was at Sinking Valley, and we raised money for children with cancer. Our foundation does three things. We give money for research for childhood cancer and Ewing sarcoma. We also help our kids locally, and we also help there's 4 hospitals in Pennsylvania that we help every holiday. And we do give scholarships as well for cancer survivors and also for Altoona High School students. So anyway, this young man started this, I think it was 2004, and we have had that event since then. We're going to have it again May 23rd at Legion Park. It starts at 8:30 in the morning is registration. If you come, you'll get to meet some of our superheroes. We'll be introducing them at 9 o'clock. And then we were going to be letting people go ride their bikes, run, or we have a superhero carnival. Kiara's grandma, Kathy Sheridan, who's standing there in the back and doesn't like to be recognized, but she should be because she does an incredible amount of work. She's going to be putting all this stuff together. She already has started that. We'll have a superhero carnival, the photo booth, lots of things. We'll be announcing our scholarship winners and have some picnic food at the end. So I think you would really enjoy it. We would love to see many of you out there. And Kathy, I just want to thank you again for having this collaborative effort. I actually knew a Hollidaysburg student who was a former Altoona student, Alexis Palfy, and I know she's done a lot too for all of us, so thank you.
Awesome. Awesome stuff, thank you. Dawn had given you on purple paper your newsletter for the Brian Morden Foundation. Again, as Jack and Kiara have both stated, there are ways to get involved, and us adults just got to provide the wheels. And so Dawn Morden has given you a paper for your folder. I hope that you support her events also. And like we said, it's just all for a great cause to Sideline Cancer. So I'd like to now bring up, I want to just give a brief bio on our next presenter, John Buffalini. And Mrs. Buffalini is a teacher, former teacher at Hollidaysburg, good friend of mine. And, you know, her son started to email me. And I didn't really put it together, but as many as you know, I'm always going to respond back to whoever gets in touch with me. And if you don't hear from me, then something must be wrong. So I responded back to John. He came into our office up on the Diamond in Hollidaysburg, and I finally figured out who his mother was, the connection. And we sat there in our office with Tammy Fleck, and we planned today's event. And, you know, that was clear back, wasn't it, John, like in August, maybe? And here we are in April. So John, I want to give you a little info on John. John is a sophomore at Juniata College, where he studies bio pre-med with the aspiration of becoming a surgical oncologist. While at the National Youth Leadership Forum on Medicine his senior year in high school, the idea of caring for kids with cancer was born. It soon became his commitment to create a community of helping individuals to help children fight that are affected by cancer. Through 3 years of being in existence, the Caring for Kids with Cancer is officially a 501c3 private foundation. Caring for Kids with Cancer continues to grow with chapters at Juniata College and hopefully St. Francis, and has grown tremendously within the community the last couple years. Since its creation, it has raised over $15,000 and continues in a dream of becoming a nationally nonprofit and providing the most amount of help to kids with cancer. And it's my honor and pleasure to welcome Mr. John Buffalini. Good stuff, dear.
All right, I'm probably loud enough that I don't need the microphone, so we'll just go with that. So I have a question for all of you. How many of you guys like to see each other smile? Raise your hands. All right, good. That's what I was hoping for. So Like Kathy said, I started the idea of caring for kids with cancer going into my senior year of high school. And so I went to a lot of my friends called was a nerd camp, National Youth Leadership Forum on Medicine. And one of the ideas, or one of our exercises, was that we had to create a mock or a fake organization. And so I was with kids from California, Washington, all across the country, and I came up with this idea of caring for kids with cancer. I had worked with Mrs. Morden when I was in elementary school, junior high, and high school, and so I'd always felt passionately towards childhood cancer. And obviously I want to be a surgical oncologist, so that's kind of what my life dream is to battle cancer. So I come up with this idea, and I come back to Altoona, try to play football, and then I get injured. And so, not paying attention to CFKC, and all of a sudden, I'm hanging out with my friends at a lunch table one day in the cafeteria, and I decide to bring up the idea of CFKC one more time, see what happens. And so, everybody knows the best-selling thing in high school, or the worst-selling thing, depending on the day, is wristbands. And so I brought up the idea of selling wristbands for $2 in our high school. And I maybe planned on getting $200, and with those $200, I was going to buy Christmas gifts for kids in Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh. It was close enough, and who doesn't like Christmas gifts, right? Okay, so that was the goal, get $200, help kids, and put a smile on a face. What I didn't realize is that we would raise over $2,200 in about 4 weeks. And so something in my head, and as Kathy likes to call them, little God blinks, said, let's keep pushing with this idea of CFKC. And so went through the paperwork. I got to be a 501c3 private foundation. I got tax exempt numbers for the nation, for the state. And so here we are 3 years later with a chapter at Juniata College with over 100 members, with people out at the University of Duquesne in Pittsburgh who have graciously helped us with multiple events, giving fundraising money back for the Christmas gift drive now that we've done 3 years and raised over $12,000 in those 3 years doing. And so what Kathy had asked me to do is I could tell you all about what I've done. And you could go to my website and see everything that I'm going to tell you right now, and it'll be with nice pictures and nice font. And so that's nice, but all you guys are looking at me thinking, okay, he did a lot of good things. What's that matter, right? And so the idea of what I want to talk to you about is what you guys can do. Now, I came up with the idea, our motto at CFKC is changing the world one smile at a time. Sounds cliche, sounds like a bunch of fluff, but think about it. You can change the world, you can change somebody's world by just talking to them, by just getting to know them, by spending a little bit of time with them. And if at the end of that conversation they're smiling, you made a difference in their world. And so what can you guys do? I started this organization with 3 guys who are on my football team, actually I guess 5 guys that are on my football team, who are very close friends to me, have followed me to Juniata, and now we're a nonprofit organization that's recognized in the Eastern Coast. We're one of the biggest clubs on Juniata College, and we're trying to expand to other universities and campuses in the state. Anybody in this room can do that very exact thing. All you have to do is, like Kathy says, you have to dream big. And you have to pay attention to what's going on around you. Now, I could have completely forgot about the idea of CFKC when I came back my senior year of high school. Senior year of high school, you got sports, you have college, you have prom, you have graduation. Let's be honest, changing the world is probably one of the last things on your mind your senior year in high school, junior year in high school. That's a pretty good guess, right? But think about it, this sideline cancer thing, you involve helping people in what you do every day. So caring for kids with cancer, I went to school every day, I sold wristbands every day. I was involved by changing the world in everyday activities. Sideline cancer, you play basketball, you play football, you run track, you play in the band, you go to school if you're going to a pep rally, right? You have to do those things. Those are things that you want to do. But gear those events to helping other people. A lot of times we look at events, we look at a basketball game, we look at a football game as me. That's me time, right? I want to be the star. I want to score the touchdown. I want to make the slam dunk. Think about playing for somebody else. Think about playing for somebody who's laying in a hospital bed who wishes they could just get out and play, let alone play in a game that all of us sometimes take for granted. And that's what happened to me. I took football for granted. It was a thing I love to do. Wasn't very good at it, but we'll leave that as it is. And then it was taken away from me. Now granted, it was because I had a season-ending injury, but not because I had cancer. And so when I was sitting at home or staying on the sideline watching all my friends play football, the games I loved and had worked in the off-season so hard for, and I couldn't do that, it got me thinking, what about the kids who are looking at 4 walls, looking at an IV machine, looking at a doctor coming in every hour or so, and looking at their parents and just hoping that they see tomorrow, or see next week, or see their next birthday. That made me feel pretty bad about not wanting to be on the field at that time. And so what I'm going to ask all of you to do, and you're going to listen to other people tell you today, is to go home, look at everything around you, and I want you to think, what would happen if tomorrow that wasn't there? And if you look at your life that way and think everything is a gift and not a given, you'll be amazed what you can do and how many people you can help. Every day that we're here is a gift. Remember that. If anything I can tell you, and if you remember anything that I say today, is that everything that we have is a gift. And so if you can help people and give them the gifts that you have and give other people knowledge, time, a conversation. I buy Christmas gifts for kids. All of us get Christmas gifts, right? Not that big of a deal. But what I'm doing is I'm showing a kid out in Pittsburgh that there is a person and a group of people that they will probably never see. But I want them to know that we love them just as much as their parents do and that we are on their side helping them fight. And anything that they want, we got their back, basically. And that's basically what I can, the whole idea of I can is that you can. I, as an individual, can do anything to help anybody. And if you embrace that, you'll change the world. Thank you very much, guys.
Wow, inspiring. This whole afternoon is on fire. So, now this goes on. How many of you watched the NCAA basketball games over the weekend and happened to catch Saturday night seeing a Sideline Cancer t-shirt with someone? Did anyone catch that? I know the Griffiths did. Okay, well, Joel Redfoot, very good friend of the Griffith family. In fact, he visited with Greg the night before Greg died. And Joel is a student here at Penn State Altoona and a participant on the basketball team here at Penn State Altoona. And Joel was recognized by the National Association of Basketball Coaches and the Allstate Insurance Company. And they recently honored 10 men's basketball student athletes across the country on April 4th at the Final Four in Indianapolis, Indiana. Penn State senior Altoona, Penn State Altoona senior Joel Redfoot is a native of Hollidaysburg area high school and was selected to the Good Works team for his involvement in community organizations. Many community organizations, too many to list. Joel was front and center during a timeout second half of the Kentucky-Wisconsin game as he was introduced with his 9 Good Works teammate. He shared the Sideline Cancer with a national TV audience of millions. And it is my honor and privilege to announce and welcome Joel Redfoot. It was so cool.
I had to.
Awesome.
Well, I think I just made Kathy's day here.
You did.
Well, first off, real quick, as Kathy mentioned, I am a family friend of the Griffiths. My sophomore year in high school, playing basketball with their youngest son, Jamie, they really took me under their wing. And from that point on, like, we all were really close, and Kathy's still good friends with my mother. And I was there at the start of the whole foundation, the dinners, the run and gun, you name it. Any way I could help out, I was there. And that's carried over into college, where the Sideline Cancer has now taken off. and you guys are doing some fantastic things, amazing things at that. And we did a Penny Wars a couple weeks ago against the club sports, varsity sports versus club sports. I'm not going to tell you who won, but we did Penny Wars, and we raised about $300. And the weekend before, or last weekend, the weekend before the Final Four, I did a check presentation with Kathy at her office. And I told her, right before I left, I was like, make sure you're watching the Final Four. I want to do something really special. I didn't tell her what at the time. I didn't tell anybody. Only I knew. So Saturday early afternoon, I sent her a text. Didn't know that she was down in North Carolina visiting her son Jamie and with her mother and her other son Jordan. And sent her a text with pictures asking her, hey, how's my shirt look? Because I was wearing the black Sideline Cancer shirt. And she responded, said, that looks great. At that point, I kind of spilled the beans a little bit and that I was going to do something. And still didn't know what exactly, and no one else knew still. So we get to walkthroughs on the court Saturday afternoon, and they tell us that we're going to be wearing our jerseys. So I'm like, crap, how am I supposed to do this now? And I'm thinking, and I'm like, wait, I have a jacket, a warm-up jacket. All right, I'll just tuck it in the front of my warm-up jacket, cover up my number. No one needs to know what number I am, right? So then we get to the game, and I even took a picture, posted it on Facebook. I mean, people were just going crazy about it. I was like, it's just a picture, calm down, right? And then we get to the court side. And right before the timeout, my friends know what I'm going on. My family knows when I'm about to go on TV. And I'm thinking, all right, this is going to be awesome. And then they're like, okay, go ahead and take off your warm-up jackets. I'm looking around, I'm like, uh-oh, how am I going to do this now? Like, thinking to myself real quick, all right, just tuck it in the front of my pants. Like, just let the shirt hang out, make it look like I had a long skirt on. See how that goes. And I don't think that would have looked too good, being a basketball player wearing a skirt, but it was worth a shot. And then I turn around, and we're being given trophies. I'm like, well, this is a pleasant surprise. And I'm like, at the time, I'm just saying to myself, I get a trophy, this is awesome, right? But then I look at the layout of the trophy, and there's a little lip on the front of the trophy that we got. I think to myself, wait, I can pull this off. Get down real quick, fold up my shirt, and a gentleman comes up to me as I'm about to stand up, and he's like, hey, do you want me to take your shirt for you? I'll set it over with your stuff. It's like, no, sir, I think I know what I'm going to do with this. So get my trophy. Everyone's lined up on the left as we're walking up the court, because the floor is raised. And everyone knew I was probably going to be the klutz that trips and falls on court in front of 75,000 people. Didn't happen, surprisingly. And as I'm taking my first step up, get to the second step, I hear a lady yell at me, hey, you still have your shirt? I look over my shoulder at her, and as I'm doing that, I feel this little push on my left shoulder blade. I'm thinking to myself, just nod and said, yes, ma'am, I do. Keep going. I turn around, the kid that was supposed to be behind me, he hadn't even started walking up the steps. So I'm like, okay, that was weird. Because I even asked him, I was like, did you push me? He said, no. Well, a little theme here is I got yelled at. As I'm on the court, I'm trying to take a selfie with Kentucky's bench. Their assistant coach yelled at me. I guess that's a no-no? My bad. So we're on the court, and as we come off, I'm just sitting there like, I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb, because literally, once I go off the court, just phone's blowing up. Like, everyone's like seeing it, and I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. And then I get yelled at a couple of times, because whenever in the stadium, what you guys didn't see on TV is we were on the court for about 2.5 minutes. I also yelled, hey, Larry. Stadium speakers picked it up. Got in trouble for that one. Got in trouble for my shirt. I was like, oops. It's like, NCAA has some strict policies. Found that out the hard way. So if you're ever doing something in the NCAA, make sure you know what those policies are and don't break them. So I'm going back to my seat then, and I'm getting stopped by different people. They're no longer watching the game. I have people coming up to me asking me about what's going on, like Sideline Cancer, explain real quick. And that was a theme throughout the weekend, because at the award show Sunday night, I was being asked, people were coming up to me. These Division I coaches are coming up to me. I had Coach K come up and speak to me real briefly. One of the greatest coaches in NCAA history. I talked to John Calipari. He talked to me about it. And the coach that won the Coaches versus Cancer Award, Coach McCaffrey from Iowa, he came up to me. I was looking for him because his son, 13 years old, was diagnosed with cancer as well. So I was looking for him, but he found me first. So right off the bat, the sideline cancer, it's spreading. I have people in the stadium talking to me. I have coaches coming up to me at the award show. And even the 9 other guys there on Sunday morning, they had people asking them about me. Well, right off the bat, obviously it's going to come with a little backlash outside the NCAA. Everyone's thinking, well, you're still in the spotlight from 9 other guys. Look around. Damn right I am. I am still in the spotlight. I don't like the spotlight. But by me stealing the spotlight from these 9 other guys, these 9 other great guys are there for the same award that I am. I didn't do it for myself. I did it not for Kathy. I did it not for all you guys. I did it for Sideline Cancer. Like I said, I've been around this since you guys started the foundation. And it's one simple gesture. You don't even have to speak words. You wear your shirts around like you are right now. People see it. It's marketing. The easiest way to get your word across. And luckily for me, I was given the biggest stage on a given night. I took advantage of it. Did I think it was actually going to go as well as it did? Heck no. I just figured it was going to be, hey, cool, I'm there. But no, I was given the stage. I used what I know. I used marketing. And with that, I think we got the word out a little bit more.
Ooh,
but
I'll say. Tell them also about the hole-in-one at the golf tournament.
All right, so last year, hole-in-one at it was Sinking Valley. I was fortunate enough to be sitting at the hole, sitting under a shade in a golf cart, just enjoying my time, trying to get a little tan. And well, I was popping in and out. Trust me, I was going in and out. But I'm sitting there just watching the hole, make sure someone gets a hole-in-one. And I hear the tee off. I'm like, okay, well, no one's even getting close at this point, because I almost got hit by 4 balls. And all of a sudden, I hear it hit the green. So I, peek up. Okay, sounded pretty good. Keeps going. Bounces about 3 feet from the hole. I'm like, oh, this is really close. Bounces up, hits the pin, and just dropped in the hole. I'm standing there, I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, it was Jordan's one friend, Jake, and all 4 of them just started screaming, yelling, jumping up and down. It was. I just remember they're about 190 yards away from me, and I'm about to go deaf because they're just yelling so loud.
This was the only one to win a car, by the way.
Yeah.
If you want a car, you get a car.
So I called Kathy, who was there not even 5 minutes before that, and I was like, hey, you might want to get back here.
Yeah.
She's like, did someone get it? It's a possibility, yes. It looks very strong. So I go up to the hole, and I hear Jordan yell, is it in? I was like, hold on, let me get there. I'm 10 feet away from the hole at this point. I can't tell if it's actually in, even though I knew it was. So I get in, I'm still on the phone with Kathy. It's like, yeah, Kathy, we got a hole-in-one. Give Jordan a thumbs up. They started screaming even louder. It was actually pretty crazy. So,
It was nuts.
yeah, that's an understatement.
So you've definitely been a part of this journey. And
Woo! So, the key, if there's one thing that I have to tell you guys, it's don't be afraid to use the voice that you have. If you have a chance to speak, speak. If it's for a good cause, people are going to listen. And they will ask questions, and just be ready to answer those questions. Be truthful with them, be honest. Don't hold your voice back. Because if you're holding your voice back, people aren't going to know what you're saying. So take the stage that you have. Keep doing what you guys are doing. All these fundraisers, whether it's for Sideline Cancer or something else, use a platform that you are given and take advantage of it every chance that you get. So with that, I thank you all. And Kathy, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
thank you. That was awesome. I still can't believe it. Thank you. As you see here today, I mean, 3 years ago, we had Jack Andraka here, and he inspired all of us. You can see it in us to change the world. And you don't have to be the smartest kid like he is in the world to do it. Anyone can do it. As Joel just said, just want to make a change, want to be the change in the world. I wish I have been given the privilege to be around a lot of young people like yourselves. I prefer to be with young people than I do people my own age. People my own age, we tend to be stuck and grumpy. Not everybody, but you guys have a vibrancy about you that is just, I mean, adrenaline. And so, that being said, I am really happy to announce that we now have our first Sideline Cancer Coordinator Initiative coordinator. His name is Dominic Cozzolino, and I'm going to read a little bit about Dominic. Dominic is a native of Hollidaysburg Area High School and started his education career at C.W. Longer and Hollidaysburg. Throughout the years, Dom volunteered for organizations like the Altoona Hospital, the United Way. He loves playing music for local bands, playing music in nursing homes and schools. As a Juniata College student, Dom was involved with the Bonner Leaders Program, Relay for Life, and other campus activities. These experiences enlightened him in the power of collective action and motivated him to go one step further into exploring our global community. In less than 2 years, Dom has had the great fortune to live in 3 different countries. He studied abroad, first in Mexico during the summer of 2013, then in Spain for a semester during his senior year. The summer after graduating, he accepted a position in the Dominican Republic, which channeled his volunteer experience and lessons from his major, economics, into mentoring high schools as they learned about global development and culture. Dom's avocation for community engagement and travel has led him to apply for a Fulbright grant to return to Spain and implement an original project. While waiting for this outcome, he is co-creating a board game and is working at a local restaurant and coffee shop. In February, Dom was graciously offered the opportunity to be the first official Sideline Cancer Initiative Coordinator for the Greg and Kathy Griffith Foundation. Dominic says he is excited to work for this organization with an energy that is invigorating and is inspiring our community. So it is my privilege and honor to welcome our first Sideline Cancer Initiative Coordinator, Dominic Cozzolino. Sir.
Right, thank you very much. Get that. Very good. Thank you. Hi everyone. How y'all doing? I'm Dominic Cozzolina, and I won't talk for too long. I was actually just going to sort of go through some of these papers with you guys just to make sure we're all caught up on everything. The big thing about this internship and position is I'm sort of assisting Kathy in the organization, and it's really been exciting because now we have like an official position for people our age, and I'm hoping that throughout the time that I'm here, I'm only here throughout the summer, but we're hoping to develop it into something that can really be beneficial to not only the organization, but an awesome opportunity for people our age to get involved in a particular program or position. So, so the first thing is the Sideline Cancer, basically the schedule of the main events throughout the summer. And it starts out with the Lou Davies Sideline Cancer Pancreatic Walk, and that's Saturday, June 13th. And there's the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, which is in July. The Tee-Off for a Cure golf tournament, which is at the Scotch Valley Country Club in August. So throughout the summer months, there'll always be something going on, which is really exciting, and there'll be more information on the website. That's actually another thing. There's a lot of information on the website. It's laid out in a really great format. So if you guys need any resource to, something to, information, I guess, that's readily available.
Your contact info too.
Right.
Show them where that is.
Yeah, so that's at the bottom of the little bio on me. And as Kathy said earlier, if you have any questions regarding any of the events or the position itself, actually, please feel free to send me an email at any point. We also have, what's this? Oh, the information. There's also the Sideline Cancer Together We Can information, and that sort of lays out how you guys can get involved. And finally, where was that? Oh yeah, the thing that we were signing up for earlier, and I wanted to get a chance to mention was, and some of you have already done this, but basically there's a help me on this a little bit.
I can help you with that.
Yeah.
You know, John Boyer, a former Hollidaysburg standout basketball player, and like a son to Greg, he was given the opportunity through the former Penn State Altoona coach, Billy Clapper, to be part of what's called the basketball tournament, the TBT. It is a social media-driven basketball tournament held in Philadelphia, July 17th. Last year, we had to have 500 fan likes. You have to be 18 years and above to actually vote, to put your vote of, yes, I want to be a part of this Sideline Cancer TBT team. So if you see on your folder, we have right now currently 50 people signed up online. You just go into the tbt.com. Our 18-year-olds here today did it. If you'd like to sign up or if you want to do it, the instructions are there, but you must be 18. Our Sideline Cancer team lost to the winning team. It was a Notre Dame team that we lost to last year. The winning prize last year was $500,000. This year, the winning prize is $1 million. And so what's really awesome is these basketball players, John Boyer and Billy Clapper, have put this team together. A lot have either played European basketball. I think we had a couple, didn't we, Jordan? Former NBA. Yeah. So that being said, we need what Dominic is going to help with. If any of you are interested in helping being a coordinator, to go out and literally just solicit fan votes, we need 1,000. And so it's so simple, as this paper states. If any of you would like to, say, commit to getting 25 to 50 people signed up, let Dominic know. He'll take your name and your cell number, and it's fun. It's just, you know, it's a good way. We are the only non-profit playing in the tournament. We got highlighted in the Sports Illustrated, and so Sideline Cancer has gotten a lot of national attention through Billy Clapper and John Boyer of the basketball tournament. So if any of you are interested, just see Dom, and it's really an exciting thing. Absolutely.
We can also, if you'd like to, we could also have you sign up now on the iPad there, and I guess we could do that.
Right, we can do
yeah,
that.
We can do that here, yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah, so like I said, I'll be here over the summer. I think we're sort of planning on having me be in the office maybe like 2 days a week, and Kathy seems really open about people just walk-ins and sort of, yeah. So if you have any questions or need any information, that's always available too.
Right, and we're located, you can tell them, up on the Diamond
Yep.
in Birdcage Walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so any of you are welcome to stop in, come and see me, you know, and any way you want to actively get involved, you know, feel free. We have ideas always. We have campaigns going on all year round. Feel free to just come and see us. And with your contact information so that I'm not bombarded, that's why we've started this mentor program with Dominic Cozzolino, because he will then field your questions, and I am at the point where it's just, I can still answer everything, but it's getting tough. So Dominic can take any questions that you have today and filter it to me, and his email is at the bottom of his bio. So does anybody have any questions about, you know, how to get involved? I know next year, you know, we'd like to do some type of a, maybe an assembly at all 3 schools. We'll be doing our 4th assembly at Hollidaysburg. And so if anybody now has any questions about anything, I'd be glad to answer them. Anybody have any think it's pretty straightforward on what we're doing. If you're graduating and you want to continue this on at your university, very easy to do, like John mentioned, whether it's wristbands, whatever the case may be, you could do that, through your university too with the Sideline Cancer Campaign. So there's a lot of ways to keep active, and with Joel making this national on TV, I think a lot of good blessings are going to come from it. And I want to share with you all what I call the power of connections. And the power of connections is, number one, I want you all to expect good things to happen. In a world that is full of sadness and negativity, the way Greg Griffith looked at life when he was told he had 2 weeks to live. So he played basketball on a Saturday at the Building 2, and he was the high scorer, and he was 48 years old. And he played, and he was high scorer, and he turned yellow. And he went to the doctor, and I'm a dental hygienist. I thought, oh, he has a gallbladder problem. He's going to have to get his gallbladder out. That's what all of our friends thought. And on Saturday, he scored 30-some points. And by Wednesday, I'm calling all my friends and telling them he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So, that being said, as everybody witnessed that was part of this, Greg could have wallowed. I mean, he did not wallow. We were fortunate to have a good friend that was diagnosed with cancer before Greg that really showed us how to fight back. And this is how I would say that Doug and Greg would say to handle things. And Doug is a survivor of cancer, and we're very happy about that. And Doug and Greg would say, expect good things to happen. Number 2, keep your eyes open. Number 3, seize the opportunities that are placed in front of you, as Joel Redfoot did, as all of us did in this room. Ask questions. Get to know people and their passions. Connect people with similar interests and passions with one another, as we did today with the Caring for Kids with Cancer Foundation, with the Brian Morden Foundation. Number 6, see absolutely everything as part of a bigger plan. So those 6 things, I'll read them one more time. Number 1, expect good things to happen no matter what. Number 2, keep your eyes open, and that means smile at people. Get to know people, no matter how bad your world looks. Give someone a smile and make them happy, and they will make you happy. Seize the opportunities that are placed in front of you. So many things are placed in front, and you think, oh, that's just a coincidence. No, that's not. 4, ask questions to get to know people and their passions. 5, connect people with similar interests and passions with one another. And most importantly, again, see everything as part of a bigger plan. As you saw here today, we're on year number 3. I'm already saying that next year we will be in the Divorce Theater with this group. Many of you will be graduating, but if you're home or can come home, you will be welcome to join us, as John did today, Dominic, Joel. You're welcome to attend as a graduate to the event. We'll have it in April again. It seats 340. We are going to keep this initiative going the way Jack Andraka is keeping it going, and honestly, with all of you, you can be the change our world so desperately needs. So I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause.